Embry is about to cross the line for his first lap. 1:45.826. It's only 4/10. So maybe the tyres are still heating up, but taking the tyres from the first pit stop may not be paying off here for Embry. And furthermore, does this mean he might take another set of tyres? That could affect him.
Oh, he's got wine to let a, I think. Oh, he's letting a P2 by. It's difficult to judge where you can really let people go. Did his best. Now, if he were to continue at this pace with an estimated 50 laps to go, 50 times. He would not make it up just on 4/10. He needs to be 5/10 a second a lap or better to come back towards Theodore and Ryan. So he needs to make sure that he's absolutely putting the pedal to the metal and just absolutely gunning it every lap. And now he was faster by about 7/10 on Theodore himself, but on Ryan, he's not that much faster, so he needs to absolutely push it.
So we're not a little bit of calm down a little bit. Malone is in the pits again. It might
is indeed, yeah, he's got damage.
And he's off the jacks. He's going without the damage. He's just going with it. I think that's it. I think he's realised he's got to. So
he was in the pits for 2 minutes and 44 seconds, so he's had required repairs to make up.
Damage. But by the way, Brian Boomsman, I've been told what exactly that is on the back of his car. It's not underwear. It is the Frisian flag. Frisian is a language in West Germany, what I understood. It's a West German ethnic group. From the coastal parts of Germany. So that is their, from what I understand, that is their flag. And yeah.
Do they make underwear there?
So what you're saying is we insult the province now.
Unless they make the world's best underwear, and then we give them a very good compliment.
So we would have to cross our fingers very tightly and say, please, that place, make very good underwear. Otherwise, we would have insulted you.
I will get serious here for a second. He is falling back now from Elvis. He was up as close as I think a second and a half to Elvis. He's now 3 points back. So maybe he's just fighting traffic. Maybe he's just kind of dialing it back. Who knows? But he is coming up on the 3 maybe Mansfield. Lap down, maybe grab back down. Trying to pick it up. They're right behind Theodore, I think.
Thank you.
They are indeed.
Oh, they're mixing it up with the GT3s right now. There's not a lot of battles going on the track right now after that GT3 drama that we saw on the bus stop with Jack. But Jack is in third again now that JD Pro has gone in and a couple of others. So we will see if that pays off. Currently, Jeff Embry is just under 20 seconds behind. We were talking about lap times before. 3/10 quicker than Ryan. Half a second quicker than Theodore. It looks like Theodore is dropping back a little bit now as well because he's not in Ryan's draft anymore. Maybe that battle is over. Maybe it'll heat up again once Jeff gets back up there. But looks to be that's the closest battle on track right now.
I think one of the things as well, I've looked at it because we were saying that I think Jeff spent an extra 30 seconds in the pit because of the tyres. The gap now between Jeff and Ryan, so between first and third, is only 23 seconds. And at the start of the lap, Jeff was 20.6 seconds behind Theodore. He's now 19.8. So he made up a whole second on Theodore this lap. So it may just be that these tyres on the BMW are just starting to fry a little bit. The temperature not dropped as much as I thought it would. Now we're into I think the nocturnal sunset. What's that terminology they call it for? Nautical twilight. Sorry, and then astronomical twilight. So we're around the nautical twilight, heading into the dusk. Thank you. We've done civil twilight. We're in nautical coming up now.
Oh, that is an LMP2. Sorry, locking its brakes. That is the car number 904. I might have done it wrong. Actually, the 084. Kenneth Tier locking his brakes around that Lamborghini of Jeff Embry, who retakes third, by the way, after being in fourth due to JD Crow coming out of nowhere and upsetting the apple cart just a little bit. And he's upset enough, actually, to the point where Theodore is falling back.
It looks like Kenneth Tier keeps kind of crawling his way back to Mikael Hagström, and once he gets kind of within striking distance, he makes a mistake and falls back. At the other end of that field, Sean Brown, who was fighting with his teammate Eric Keith at the beginning of this race, is now almost 15 seconds ahead of his teammate. We haven't been showing him much tonight, but he's just dominating. You can just watch his car all night and just watch him pass people all night. And he almost got a little curse coming out of 6. But he's just completely owning the LMP2 category in the race overall.
I'll touch the wood for you. Don't worry, I'll touch it for you.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I can hear you smacking your desk as well. That's so funny.
I was only tapping it, but yeah, no, he's been doing high, mid to high 34s and low 35s. His slowest lap, not including an out lap, is a 37. And then he's got there's only one time in the 37s. He's done one time in the 36s. Brown's been keeping it really consistent. Compared to a teammate, I think just having a little bit of bad time there. Mostly times in the 35s. Now the tyres are starting to roar off. A couple of 36s and a 37, so you can see that. Sean, you could argue he's had the better of the traffic, but at the same time, look, he's now right behind the lead GT of Mike Gaunt. It's not all traffic, it's just basically just been able to keep a smooth drive, and that's the key with these LMP2s as well, especially when you get to the bus stop. You want to keep it smooth, keep as much speed as you can without upsetting the back of that car. So Ralph's doing a really good job, to be honest. Just trying to keep an eye on who was Solenka battling with? It was Thompson, no.
No, it was Wilson, but Wilson took tires earlier.
Yes, that's it. Yes, it's just keeping the eye on these two cars, because it does look like Wilson. It has paid off for him, because he is, well, apart from that spin, he is a second faster than Solenka at the moment. So I think these guys that took tires, and there's only a handful of them, it's starting to pay off for them. But are they going to hit that sweet spot too early in the race?
I honestly think that the play here is just to keep the tires on the car and try to keep it steady. With those 30-second additions, I think it's like 27 seconds you're adding to your pit stop. You're having to push yourself to get that time back. And if you can just nurse the tires that you have on the car, sure, turn 2-3 tenths a lap slower, you're gonna be fine. I think Mike Gaunt's strategy, as well as Donald's, they're cruising up at the front. They don't have to worry about passing the field again, the guys that didn't take tires. I think that keeping those tires is probably the most risk-averse move, even though you may want a little bit more grip.
Right, at the moment, there is no close battles out there. Well, apart from Michael Thompson and Figurico going side by side for P3 and P4 into turn 1. Just Thompson to catch that. It looks like Thompson made that move stick. They're going to be going side by side with the kink into the first bus stop.
Ooh, they were close.
They were very close, and I think Thompson realized that he just pulled away from himself.
Flavio is making new tires. That's one guy who is making the most of that new rubber in the Porsche. Back up to third after he was second last. He is motoring in that Porsche. He is doing about, 10 lap quicker than Splenka right now. Maybe a 10th a lap quicker than Don. But for fastest laps, I was looking at fastest laps. He's actually going a bit slower than the guys up ahead of him, like almost a full second slower, at least on the last lap. He may have run into a little bit of traffic or whatnot, but now that he has an open road ahead of him, let's see if he can get that Porsche going.
And I'm actually curious to see how that works, because the Ferrari is still the car with the top speed, and we always talk about how not many people drive the Ferrari when it comes to official racing, but the Ferrari still have the following outside of official racing, of course, and you can just see how it still has that top speed, and it is just really able to, I wouldn't say abuse it, but just able to use it to its advantage. You can see, here we go, is trying to pull away, and the gap is 1.4 seconds. A lot of that is Thomas having a second and a half slower lap, but when it comes onto the straights, in theory, that you will see that Ferrari just getting a little bit more speed, a little bit more top end speed.
But hang on a minute.
Sure.
Go look at LMP1 or LMP2. Where in goodness gracious did Brian Boomsma come from to take fourth position? We have just missed that. Oh my god!
Looks like he took him into...
No, it looks like a slow. It looks like a slow. It is. It looks like Elvis went high to either overtake a GTE or have to serve a slowdown, and just completely loses all that position. And Boomsma has taken back P4. So the overall leader at the start of the race is finally in P4. And granted, he's got, actually, well, let's be brutally honest, he's 5 seconds behind the next car. He's only 30 seconds behind Sean. I mean, Sean's in a world of his own, but Brian could get this podium back after losing at the start of the race.
And it looks like Elvis is coming into the pits.
Yeah, the LMP2 is starting their pit stop run now. Will it be
at 22 laps right now?
Yeah, so they will have to stop again.
But they'll take tyres this time, right?
Well, the pipettes.
They'll have to do.
I hate the way that I had that idea and now it's stuck, and I'm just like, hey, the pipettes. That's all I know.
The pipette fuel. The pipette fuel tank. Even though they made the changes, it's still a pipette to us. It's probably. I think the joke I made, but it turned into a turkey base, and you had no idea what a turkey base was, so I just gave up with that. But they have to do roughly 4 stops, I think, in the LMP2. So this their second stop, second pit window is open. So expect to see tyres, and Elvis has just decided, nah, I'm all right. I'm not going to bother with tyres. Fair enough. I probably would have taken
I think
stop.
Double stinting is pushing it. I think Elvis is going to be in for a really, unless he was really taking care of his tires, Elvis is going to be in it for a hard time stint. Brian is 5.1 behind Etienne right now. Vic is now 17.5. Sean's in the pits. Sean is in the pits. Eric has inherited the lead in LMP2. Who else is coming to the pits? Brian Boomsma has entered the pits.
It'll be key to see if they take tires now or at the splash and dash, because
So Eric, it looks like Eric and Mikael are squeezing another lap out of that car.
Oh, Sean's up. Sean's up on the jacks. That is a tyre change for Sean. He's done all the fuel. Remember, fuel goes in first, then it's tires. So what we see from Brian, will Brian go up? That's the next question. Hiko Kruger is in the pits as well. Do any of either of these two decide, you know, let's get up and let's get some get on the jacks? Especially with the new changes we were saying to these cars, you're not putting a lot of power and sliding a lot through the slower corners, and yeah,
Brian is up on the jacks. There you go.
Yeah, you don't, even though you don't get a lot of, you know, a lot of wheel spin on the back of the tires now, the back of but you still have that effect of so many slow corners and putting the throttle down that the back tires do take a beating, and it's interesting to see those that haven't taken tires, what's going to happen to them. But Brian is out with tires. Sean is already out on the track through the second horseshoe, with tires. So that'll be one to keep an eye out on. What will Sean be able to do? He had, what, 16-second lead, so 11-second lead. So it'll be interesting to see, because Eric and Mikkel are in the pits now. Do they take time?
Jack Weddle also in the pits. We're going to see if he's taking tires here in a moment. He is. Jan Brony did not. Jan is one of 2 drivers so far who have not taken tires in that last stop. Wolf Dietrich also in the pits. It's going to be about 20 seconds if he's taking tires or not. Looks like Eric and Mikel Etienne, they taking tires?
Nothing yet.
No.
Nothing yet. No.
Eric not taking tires. Mikel not taking tires. Wow, this has just split that whole field.
It's gonna be interesting, because you've got to think that some of them will have to take tires next lap. You know, there's no, not next lap, sorry, next pit stop. There's no way about it. They're gonna have to look at it and think about the options. Speaking of tires, right? Jeff Embry is now 17 seconds behind Theodore. All right, he's matching the time to Ryan at the moment, but he's still gaining. He's gaining time, and the tires aren't working. If you wanted to go with fresher tires right now, I would have thought that they would, you know, he'd be kicking in, and he would want to be looking at a 10-second gap right now. It's only 17, 16 seconds. Maybe
based on what we were seeing before, I don't think that this time gain that he's getting is tires. I think this is Jeff, because we saw Jeff reel these guys in when they were on the same rubber. I think Jeff made a grave error by taking tires. He's not gaining any time. He might be getting some comfortability from it, but it's not giving him the time that he needs in order to catch Theodore and Ryan.
And of course, not to mention as well that, you know, the track hasn't cooled down like we thought it would cool down. They're still there. They're coming to the end of the astronomical twilight, which is I'm saying it because it's the 3 different stages of the night time, where you still get that astronomical twilight. You still got some of that sunlight giving you light, which is also giving you a bit of heat. We're a few minutes away from that, and it's going to be complete. It's going to be technically proper night very shortly. You can see how dark the sky has gotten with the floodlights. So maybe we'll see these temperatures go down, but the track is still 77% humidity.
I was going to say, that's not good news for these drivers. The more that humidity goes up, the less power they have, the less grip they have. So even if you do take new tires, you might just not be able to maximize them.
Well, let's look at this battle at the moment. The back of the field, by the way, David Wilson against Stuart Elder. They're coming around Theodore, and Wilson's not going to be able to make a move on Elder, despite he was right up there. In fact, Elder on the red line of that Porsche. As Wilson is going to get held up here by Theodore, the lead. That's the Theodore, the lead. Have we missed something? What's happened to Ryan? Ryan is no longer in the lead at the GT3s. What has gone on here?
He's got a very damaged front end.
Oh, it's a spin. It's a spin. Is that a spin at the bus stop? It is. Loses the car at the bus stop and into the wall. Into the wall, and I'm amazed that that engine has not gone kaput because he's got no hood, and he's losing time right now.
Oh, and oh dear. Just oh dear.
And then, wow.
Like just the sheer amount of damage. Has he got a bonnet? He's not got a bonnet.
He's not got a bonnet. The BMW grille looks absolutely mangled. He will have to take a fast repair. That is going to affect him. I mean, his only saving grace is, can he drag this out? Because he's 14 laps into a stint. Can he do his short stint now, use the fast repair, and not lose a lot of time? It's gonna be.
He hasn't done enough laps. He doesn't. He's gonna have to do another bit.
But he needs. But he needs to fix that car, because look, Umbri is just catching it. It's just catching it. What's the speed right now? 260 kilometers for Oliver. I mean, Jeff's already doing 264. 270 right now for Oliver. Yes. And he's not hitting. He's losing all this time right now. A 148.196 was that last lap. And a 146.6 for Umbri. I don't know what Oliver's doing. You have to pit here.
Jeff Umbri is going to have it handed to him. Just absolutely. And by the way, Derek giving a shout out to his buddy and pal Brian Boomsman. Mispronounced the name all the time. Lots of that. Apparently, it's his first race.
First majors race.
Yeah, first majors race. I was just thinking to myself, I hope he doesn't mean his first race. It was actual race.
Right, if he pits now, we're talking about Oliver, he might be able to make it.
Guys, lead of LMP2. Sean is on Eric. Remember, Eric did not take tires. Sean did. Sean has been quicker all night. Well, maybe not quicker, but more consistent. Mikel Etienne, 6 seconds behind. These guys up at the front are teammates. Are they going to battle it out, or is Eric just going to let him go? And they're just getting by Sklenka there now.
I think if he's going to let him go, he'll let him go after the bus stop. The gap is 0.4, probably going down to 0.3. Look how much confidence Brown has got with the tyres. Yeah, even in dirty air, had just much more confidence taking that bus stop with the tyres. He may make the move. He may have to wait. We've got Ladone in front of them. They will get by him, but you don't really want to be taking it 3 wide right now. What will happen? He's still not close enough. What is the time difference? It's just out of curiosity. It's a 135.3 versus a 134.7. And Eric's got by.
Off.
But that's the lead.
Sean gets by. And I think that's going to be it for that. I think Sean's just going to walk away from Eric now.
Oh, we are going. It's going to be interesting to watch how that's going to happen now, because technically with the way Brown's been going, he could probably do another pit stop for tires. And Brown's gone by the way. Let's go from one battle to another, because Umbri is right on the back of Oliver. And surely Oliver's just trying to count down the times now. Trying to count down when can he hit. If he's running caps, does it flash to me now saying the pit window's open? He's waiting for the absolute moment that he needs to repair, because he must be seeing the times right now in that Adrenaline E Motorsports car. He must know that he has damage. And he wants to fit in the pits.
He doesn't just see that, he sees those lights of the Lambo right behind him, and they are right behind him going into the bus stop. This is going to be Jeff. All Jeff through the oval here.
And I think Ryan realizes that he's flashing. Now, that's a sign that Ryan wants to pit. I did see some headlights flashing, but it was the front car flashing, and that would be Ryan. But Embry goes by with no issue. What does Oliver do? Oliver decides, wow.
That might be a smart play. Like you said, he might be looking for his pit window. And if he can tuck that BMW behind the Lambo, this might not hurt him as bad, but it looks like he's falling off way too much to get that draft.
He needs 3 more laps, roughly. Because these cars will take 30 to 31 laps on a full tank of fuel. So he's looking at another around lap 48 or possible 82, but it's 81.01, so we're going to call it 81 laps at the moment. So he needs another 3 laps. Can he hold on?
Get to lap 19.
Yeah. Can he hold it? That's the question. Can he hold? I wouldn't say can he hold that position. It's can he hold where he is and try and keep up with Embry. Use these LMP2s and GTEs to give him some extra speed with the slipstream. He's going to need it because Embry's already 2 seconds ahead of him. It's amazing how much damage just a hit on the nose is causing.
But can Embry get Theodore? Now that Ryan is in his rearview mirror, can Embry get Theodore? He's 12.7 seconds adrift of that BMW. I don't know. Like their last lap, they were 2/10 apart. He might get to his bumper, but I'm not sure if he can win this race.
Well, Embry took tyres. Theodore has not taken tyres. The gap is 13-14 seconds. When they cross the line, we'll get that updated quickly. It's a 1:45.672 for Embry, and it's now 13 seconds. Oliver comes in. He finally decides now's the time. That's going to be a hard stretch. That is going to be a real hard stretch. He's got a fresh car. There's a bumper.
He did take tire.
Does he take fuel? Yes. Look at it. You can see. This is his fuel stop.
Is he going to take tires?
Thing is, he had that spin.
Well, does he attribute the spin to taking tires before?
No.
He did not take tires.
Does not take tires. You're just watching this for the moment. We're keeping our eyes on Oliver going through. Just seeing the camera just play around with some of these faster cars. The other two just going by around. You see the timings on the top, and like I said, there is no serious battles happening at the moment in terms of on-track battles, just catching up to try and set up battles in the LMP2. Same really with the GTE. Mind you though, Wilson, Zimmermann and Elder have been battling it out at the back there, and Wilson, he's finally making those tyres work. He's still a second faster. Yeah, he's the second faster than the guys behind him, and he's unable to catch up to Mark Day. Day in that Ferrari is just, again, a different level, but the key for Wilson, he's making time up. He's slowly working his way up. I remember he was in a battle with Solenka, who did not take tyres, and we were saying earlier, by the way, how the GT3s with Embry, did he make the wrong call taking tyres? I think we may be asking the same question with Wilson, because he's not really gained on Solenka, has he?
He really hasn't. He dropped back a fair bit to take those tires, and now he's having to battle with traffic and this, that, and the other thing. So, honestly, the guys that are taking tires are just putting themselves at a disadvantage for track position. They have to battle their way past the guys that didn't take tires. The risk-averse part of me says don't take tires. The guys that have taken tires have fallen back way too much, and they're just making the job much harder for themselves right now.
Especially on such a track like this. I mean, to give it an idea, we only really see it a few times in the year. This is kind of like a track like Monza, when you want that slipstream. You want to be able to make sure that you stay with somebody, because if that slipstream can give you extra time. And that could be one of the reasons, one of the things we're seeing here is, you know, taking it out, the undercut. Yeah, you can call it an undercut, like a taking tires different times. Does it affect him? I mean, Flavio's just come out of the pit. Mark Day right behind him. I don't think Flavio took tires.
He did not. No.
But he's got Day behind him. Now he can use Day to help him, and they can work together to just keep the speed going. Different teams, of course, and different types of cars. You know, we've got a Ferrari versus a Porsche. But if they could just stay together and use that slipstream, not hinder each other, that will help Flavio. You know, that will help Mark. So that's what you want right now. And Flavio's thinking, I'm on my own right now. But, you know, Mark Day's thinking, great, I'm not on my own anymore. That's what I need.
I think Mark Day is now too far back of Flavio. He's 1.5 seconds back. Flavio is the quicker driver in the Porsche. But just to drive home this taking tires story, Brian Boomsma, who we've been following quite a lot, and Elvis Bonello, they were battling before that round of pit stops. Brian took tires. Elvis did not. Now, this was their second stop. So Brian is a fair bit quicker right now. It looks actually like Elvis may have run into some issues on the last lap. But the P2s burn tires a lot more than the GT cars. For whatever reason, it seems to be a double stint car. There were some guys who opted not to, but Brian is getting into Elvis, though on that last lap they were almost neck and neck for lap time there. Elvis came across 35.5. Brian's going to come across with a 36.2. There's just not enough of a difference, maybe even with the LMP2s for lap time. Look down at Jeff Embry in GT3 right now. He actually just passed Mark Day on track, legitimately. Mark Day is in the pits.
Yeah, he's in the pits. I don't know what he's in the pits for. He's been in for a while. Is he taking his? It looks like he's taking fuel and tires. He's doing the full service right now.
That's a huge service. He's currently at 1.5 minutes.
Mark Day had to tow.
He hit the wall at the bus stop.
Have a look.
Mark Day hit the wall big time at the bus stop. That was a good hit. Did he tow?
Yeah,
he did indeed.
That is. Yeah, he hit that wall side on. That has got to be suspension damage. Yeah, it looks like that steering wheel is, I wouldn't say straight. No, it's not straight. So yeah, he just decided it's easier to just tow than
and
try and
didn't take a fast repair. Did Mark already take a fast repair earlier in the race?
He did, and I think he took it accidentally.
Because he's now been in the pits for over 2 minutes. Too bad. Mark Day really falling down through the order. He's 8th now in 25th overall. The LMP2 category is kind of status quo right now. Sean, Eric, Mikel Etienne, Elvis, Brian, and Michael Kruger, your top 6. Jan and Jack, 7th and 8th. Kenneth Tier has actually made his way up a few positions due to him not taking tires from the pit stop. So we got past both Dietrich and Jan Hagstrom.
Mike Gaunt had a bit of a jaunt. I can't find any more rhyming words after that, though. He had a 1:44.5 last lap. I'm not sure what that is for.
Doesn't look like he had an off track or anything.
No, very slow lap though. And for one moment, Salenka could see on his relative a white name, and it was a white name in front of him, not a white name behind. And at that moment, he was thinking, "Oh, I'm catching." You know, the gap was 14.8 seconds, so he's able to catch up a little bit. Yeah, 14.6 now is the time. again, he didn't take tyres. I think that Ferrari is just feeling a little bit better with that Corvette. Look, I say that Corvette is struggling. People say that the Corvette is a better Ferrari. I've never enjoyed the Corvette, just mainly with the braking. But a lot of people do prefer that over the Ferrari. But maybe Salenka wants to bring that Ferrari back and go, hey, I'm still the big brother here. Maybe
Donald is on the oval right now. As you said, that he was in the 14.7 range. He's now 14.3 behind 15.3, somewhere around there. It's kind of fluctuating right now as he goes through turn 1. This field is really spread out. Mike Gaunt with that 15-second lead. Donald 24 seconds ahead of Michael Thompson. Flavio is 43 seconds adrift of Thompson. Wilson 9.5 seconds behind Flavio. That might be our next battle on track, though. I get the feeling Wilson's kind of dropping back from Flavio. We'll see. Stu Elder and Thorsten Oliver Zimmermann round out the group there to 7th. Mark Day obviously having to take his repair. Drew Boulon has been back a lot, and that's Sarge's place, number 10 Ferrari. He's 4 months down, 3 years now. And Simon Thorns and Corbin Solemnson have been the 10th and 11th spots.
Zimmermann just came into the pit. He had a bit of off the bus stop, then missing his spot when he came in. Sure to see Elmwood, but the gap now, the gap is now 8.7. Theodore's kind of bad. He started his lap, the gap when they crossed the line, 10 seconds. On the back straight, the gap is now 8.7. So, hats off to Jeff. All the time he's made up. Part of it is Jeff, part of it is tyres. They're at lap 54. Pit window will be open for these GT3s, and I think the pit window is open for the GTEs as well. A lot of them are starting to look at taking tyres. I always say you can never judge the positions on the track until the final pit rotation. And we're about to get into that final pit rotation, and we still don't know. Well, the LMP2s, they next splash and dash, but for the GT3s and the GTEs, we know that they're going to have to take one last pit, and then the question runs in to tyre or not to tyre. That is the question, and that's going to be a tough one for some of these drivers to make, because the track temperature has stayed at 24 Celsius. There's no sunlight. I'm not saying global warming, but that is what the humidity is doing right now, because that humidity is still 77%.
It is insane, but it is Florida. Remember, it is Florida. You have Everglades and all this other stuff. You do have Gulf effect in Florida. Lots of humidity there at the best time. I will say one thing. It's incredible that we started with 34 cars. We are now running 33 of them. There's only been one retirement in the 61 laps that we've run so far with Scott Kukas, who it seems like 17 laps ago, 44 laps ago, he abandoned his campaign. There are some fights that are going to brew before the end of this, even though everybody's kind of spread out right now. You do have Wolf Dietrich Hotho, that's 4 seconds off of Andy Banfield. You do have David Wilson, who's slowly digging into Flavio, 9.2 seconds apart of GTE. Jeff Embry down to 8 seconds flat off of Theodore. But those are the only single-digit battles that we have going on right now, single-digit gaps, that we have going on right now in any of the classes. Oh, Michael Etienne is 5.5 seconds off of Eric, but if anything is, if history is to tell us what's going on ahead in this race, Michael's not going to catch it. We will see. Oh, Brian Kuzma, 2.7 seconds behind Elvis.
tell you what I'm keeping my eye on though. I'm keeping my eye on whatever that gap is between Ryan Oliver and the lead GT3, because at the moment, I'm just going to see when he crosses the line now. Just curious to see the gap between first and fourth, 58.6 seconds. Oliver did not take tyres. Ernbury's the only one in that top 4 that took tyres. But he's already done a pit stop because he had to take that early pit stop to the fast repairs. He's also trying to make sure that he's got enough fuel to finish the race. Hopefully not take a splash and dash. He might, because of that gap, 59 seconds. You're looking at over a minute in the pit box. I mean, I'm just trying to work this out. Would he get the lead back? That can't be right. That can't be.
I don't know. I can't see it.
We'll wait and see. I mean, whatever happens, I think he's got a chance at a podium. He's only 12 seconds behind Stefan Rossmann. So, and Rossmann's got a pit. Remember, let's just see if we can run down the drivers who have pitted so far in the GT3s. It is Oliver, it is Anders, and it is JD Crow. So, yeah, everybody else has to pit. So maybe, just maybe. But again, has Oliver done it too? Has Oliver gone in too early? We'll have to wait and see, because those numbers are not playing favourably for him. And Eric Irwin wants to go on the boots. I think probably because he's in a battle right now of Ettinen. He's actually overtaken Ettinen. And did he overtake him? Is it just a very close battle? No, he did. He overtook him going into that lap. He's in P4 now. Boomsma retakes P4. He's 2 seconds behind Elvis Manello. He's got a shot to get that podium back.
What happened to Etienne? Because Etienne was in third.
What happened?
He's done it.
Yeah, he had a 154.2 and lost it coming out of the bus stop actually. So much speed, cargo sliding it. I'll tell you what, he's lucky he managed to save that car and managed to make it turn the other way, because that car was going to go, as you'll see on the replay, you'll probably see on the replay in a minute, he was going to go very aggressive, and that car kicked up out of the curbs, and it started sliding to the right as it came out of the bus stop. And normally, if you're sliding right, that means you're going nose into the barrier, and somehow he was able to just correct that car to make it do a complete 180 and just avoid the wall. Good save there from Macau, but unfortunately he has lost P4 and Boomsma
in 3. So he was ahead of Elvis when that happened. So
right.
He's lost 2 positions down, now back to 5th. Brian is now 1.5 seconds off of Elvis. But he's got a couple of cars between him and Elvis that he needs to get by. Mikel is right behind Boomsma. So this might turn into a 3-way battle in LMP2, which is the first time we've seen that all night.
Oh no! My God! He's slipped.
Oh
Had
no!
a spin.
He has had a spin. He's only just got back going.
And oh dear.
The wall.
Oh. Let's get that chopper out.
Yeah.
He's missing his whole front end.
Now he is in the pit window. He's in the pit window, but he's not pitting, and he's lost the lead to Sklenka.
Sklenka is coming out of this like a rose.
I mean, Gaunt in the Hanson Brothers Corvette there. He's got no lights. He's got no nose. He's got no bonnet. I mean, at least he's got good cooling because the radiator
right there.
Yeah, but like he needs to pit. He needs to pit. There's only
He absolutely needs to pit, and he's probably losing about half of his downforce right now. So yeah, that car is getting a little slidey.
To quote Dr. Zoidberg, Mike, you have no nose. Your nose is gone.
Gotta love Futurama.
Take the inside of T1.
Gotta love it.
Well, I mean,
Drama continues.
I mean, he's back where he started, but I mean, that front end is not looking too good. I think we'll get a shot of it as he comes around. Oh yeah. Oh dear.
Embry is 4 seconds off of Theodore? Wow. Okay. It's heating up, guys.
14 minutes to go now. And, I mean, look at Mike Gaunt's car. He really is in trouble. He needs to get into the pits now to stop the... well, to stop really... yeah, the bleeding of time that he would have. And we also have the battle heating up between Theodore and Jeff. You can see Jeff in the background just there as he is on his chart.
Coming in. Gaunt is coming in.
I think that's a lap too late though. I think he had to do it last lap. But then again, at the same time, unless you've got a spotter, unless you've got a camera, someone looking for you, you're not going to know exactly what damage you've got unless you see that being like that black and orange flag. So at the end of the day, he would have had to use that one lap to understand what the car was doing. And I think that's what he decided to do. So, brand new front, brand new car. The Chiefs logo is on the... Does that say Chiefs? It does say Chiefs. It's back on the 22 is there. So he's got that car back. No tyres, full fuel. He's going 23.
Oh no, he would have... He's definitely got fuel. That is... Sorry, that's Elvis gone wide. Brian Boomsma back in third. Look at this.
Wow, he hasn't... Look at it. He has not been third since... He has not been this high since the start of the race, where he lost it into the first corner, and now he's back into third. It's boom, boom, Brian Boomsma as he gets that third. All right, he's 17 seconds away from Eric, but he'll take a top 3 after where he was after 2 hours ago. What a drive from Brian.
He was dead last in LMP2 after the first corner. This has been a miracle drive for Brian.
We're also going to keep an eye on this as well, because Michael Ettinen, he's outside that slipstream range, but he could try and catch Elvis right now, and that could be P5 for Elvis, and Michael Ettinen getting a P4, so it's still not over in the LMP2. Well, yeah, just still not over full stop. And also a key thing here is that Elvis pitted a lap earlier than everybody else. Eric and Mikel pitted a lap later than everybody else in the last stops. So expect to see Elvis coming first. And in fact, there we go.
Yep,
what a guess. Yeah, what a guess.
Will he take tires this time? He is sliding. Will Elvis take tires? He did not last time.
Keep an eye on that. It's going to take a while to see what's going on there. Just looking around. By the way, David Wilson Jr. is up to P5. Remember, he did not take tyres. He took tyres, apology. He took tyres on the last pit stop. He is a minute and 18 behind Stalenka, which was who he was battling. That
he
may
took
be
tires and then some. His stop was a minute and a half. Tires should make your pit stop just a little bit over a minute. He was in there for a minute and a half, so he got some damage that he had repaired as well.
That might cost him, like someone was saying, if you want the tires to work.
And Elvis did take tires. He short filled and took tires. He's good for the rest of the race and on fresh rubber.
Alright, so here's what I'm seeing right now. It's reading 89.95 in terms of the laps, which means we are going 90 laps. I owe Rob whatever the hell the Irish drink. I owe him that because it definitely is going to be a 90 lap race. I was thinking 91. Sean will have to pit, and that number will drop from 89.95 down to about 89.5. So it's definitely in that range of 90 laps. But if you don't know it, you're going to start questioning yourself, are we going an extra lap? What do I have to do here?
Sorry guys, I'm going to correct myself. He's not good to the rest of the race. We're at lap 6 to 8 right now. If we're going 90, he needs to stop once more. Or stretch that tank. Really stretch that tank. He just did a short fill and got tires. His pit stop was 42 seconds. when you take tires and a full fuel load, you're 56. So he short filled and took tires. So that means his next stop, he needs to take a full load. He is gambling that this tank will get him far enough that he just needs to. What's going on here?
Alright, I'll tell you what's going on. Go look at GTZ class. And go look at how close Jeff Embry is now caught up to Theodore. That gap has decimated. And now Jeff has prime. Yeah, and Jeff has prime attack mode on.
Well, you say prime attack mode, they're just going to let that Porsche of Zimmermann go by them right now. But here's the crucial thing, that Porsche is high up. The GT3 there, is Embry going to take the outside? He won't be able to take this. Theodore will have to take that position. So Embry's starting to make the questions, ask the questions, and does Theodore have the answer to these questions with 34 minutes left in the race?
All he needs to do is sit behind. He's got a lap advantage, so he'll have to fuel less under any regard. And he's got Slipstream helping him along as Theodore dives into the pits, as does Jeff Embry. Oh! Braking! No way did he just come ahead. Side by side into the pits. You can see the two cars there. Into his box.
Now Jeff doesn't need tyres, by the way. Jeff doesn't need tyres. He could take tyres if he wants because he realises he's right here with the leader. He took tyres last time. What does Theodore do? The problem is, Jeff can't tell what Theodore's doing because Theodore's right behind him. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, but that was a reaction move from Jeff. He saw that Theodore was coming in, and he thought the best thing to do was stay with Theodore, keep that slipstream, and up goes Theodore. Theodore's on the jacks, and Jeff says sayonara. This is going to be interesting right now because there's not enough time. With 33 minutes to go, I do not feel there's enough time for Theodore to make that up. The early tyres may work out for Jeff here. It's going to be tight though because right now Theodore is going to be in the same position that Jeff was the last time they came in for tyres. If Jeff was at the back trying to catch up, now Theodore's at the back trying to catch up on a car that's on 2 stint old tyres.
Jeff has been handed a absolute gem. All he has to do now is drive it home. That's all he has to do. Keep the tyres in good check. Keep saving as much fuel as he needs to if he is under fuel. I'm sure not. But I think Theodore, he's made the wrong decision. If he had stuck on those tires, he could have stretched them. They would have been absolute nightmare fuel, but it's only 32 seconds, or not 32 seconds of nightmare fuel, 32 minutes of nightmare fuel.
But here's the plus side, Rob. Here's the plus side, Rob and Mark. He's 9.5 seconds behind Ryan, who didn't take tyres when he came in for that emergency stop. But Ryan's good to the end. Theodore's on brand new rubber. So we should be seeing, because Ryan stayed on those tyres for 2 hours now. I think Theodore might be able to catch up to Ryan. We've still got Rossman, who has to pit. The gap between Rossman and Oliver is 13 seconds. So I'm just going to put it out there. I think Oliver might stay P3. Theodore might overtake Oliver, but Rossman unfortunately does have to pit, and here he comes.
We do have GTEs coming in. And an LMP2.
Oh, that's Selenko. That's the lead GTE. It is. Donald Selenko's in as well. There's a lot of cars in the pits right now. This is going to be one to keep an eye out for because does Selenko take tyres? Again, here is this big question. Oh, I love endurance racing just for these reasons.
We missed Sean Brown's third pit stop. He did not take tires. Eric Feek is in there now. Heiko Kruger's in there. Jack Weddle is in there now too.
Keeping my eyes on Selenko. Thompson is also in the pits right now. He's just going in. Does Selenko go on the jacks? I mean, He does not go on the jacks. He's going to stay. You can see as he comes out the box, a little bit of sliding. So the lead, well, the old leader, Slenka, did not take tires. Gaunt got by, and that means Thompson is. So Mike Gaunt's back in the lead. After losing that nose, Mike Gaunt is back in the lead.
Mike Gaunt is back in the lead, but he has 5 laps in his stint right now. I think he can make it.
It's going to be touch and go, and he gets held up by 2-lap cars. It's not going to help him. He has to just wait there. That is Apsi and Elder in GT3 and GT respectively. But where is Gaunt? Gaunt's just coming on to the oval. Where is Lenka? Just coming onto the oval now. Gaunt pull away, because that gap's going to be, what, 5 seconds between them now? 6 seconds, sorry. That's going to be an interesting battle to start, to basically finish the race. And David Wilson is now in the pit. He took tyres originally. Not taking tyres now, but unfortunately, he probably took the wrong decision taking tyres early.
And guess who's on the podium in GTE? Flavio Figuccio is on the podium after his first lap shenanigans. He has made his way through the field, and he is in P3. But my God, after that big smack against the wall, losing his whole front end, taking a fast repair, he finds himself in the lead, and he may have enough fuel to make it the rest of the race here. It's up to Donald to track him down. Flavio does need to stop again. There we go.
Why'd you ruin it, Bob? Why'd you ruin it?
I didn't ruin it. I did nothing.
I built it up too much. It's all my fault.
I don't blame him.
Sean Brown, let's go back down to 2. Sean Brown is leading Brian Boomsma in second. So Brian Boomsma is currently in second. He did not take tires, and Eric did. So it's up to Eric to chase him down 3.7 seconds back. And then Elvis in 4th, and Mikael and Ian in 5th. That's your top 5. Jan and Jack. Heiko Kruger has fallen back a little bit. He's in 5th now. Actually, his last stop was 2.5 minutes. What happened to Heiko Kruger?
I was looking at that myself, and I could not work it out.
He told.
He told me. Wow.
What happened to Heiko?
Let's have a look.
It looks like he was...
Oh.
Did he blow an engine?
No. Hang on a minute. Let's go into his...
Did he run out of fuel?
He ran out of fuel.
And towed. Wow.
No! Heiko Kruger ran out of fuel and couldn't make it.
Oh, and that's lost him a lot of positions as well.
Back in 8th now. That's too bad for Heiko. He was where, in 6th, I believe?
I think he was up in 5th at one stage. I'm not...
It's too bad for Heiko.
That is such a shame. Right, so we're coming down to the last 26 minutes. Sean Brown had a 31-second lead of Brian Boomsma, who is himself just making sure he keeps that gap between him and Eric Fick. That 6-second gap in the GTEs. Mike Gaunt retains that lead after that scary moment at the bus stop. The lead is 7 seconds, and then at the back, well, we've still got Flavio waiting to take his pit stop, and Michael Thompson will probably get that P3 after that. GT3s are also looking very spicy right now. Ernbury is in the lead by 16 seconds over Ryan Oliver. He's got to defend against Theodore, 9 seconds, but the question is, can Ryan make it to the end on this fuel tank? That's going to be the crucial question right now. With 25 minutes remaining, if you're a fan of Adrenaline Motorsport, if you're a fan of Ryan Oliver, just start clutching here because it's going to be a close one.
So Ryan is currently 18 laps on a stint. In the GT3s, let me go to my notes, I believe it is 30 or 33 laps per stint. How many laps do we have left? There's more than 11 or 12.
It's about 15. I think it's 14, 15 laps left with these GTEs.
I don't think he's going to make it.
That's gonna be a tight. That is. I mean,
saving fuel. I don't think Ryan can make it.
We said that it would be possible he would need to go a couple more laps. But was the pressure of losing all that time too much? Did he just decide he had to go in?
I wonder if he made a split-second decision after he got passed by Jeff and said, I can't be out here anymore. I think he had a plan to run it into the pit window, and as soon as he got past, he was like, I'm losing too much time, I need to go in. He's going to need to pit one more time. He's now coming up on lap 19 of his stint. The cars are good for 30 or 31 laps. He's not going to make it. Ryan is not going to make it. But will he not make it to the point where he loses also third place and fourth place to Stefan Rossmann?
He's going to lose P. He's going to lose P3 because the gap's 8.5. Theodore did take tires, I seem to recall. Rossmann, the gap between Oliver and Rossmann is 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So
33, by the looks of things, actually.
Yeah, 33. Now you see, if I'm Oliver and I'm looking at it right now, and I know that I'm not going to make it, I'm pitting now. I'm doing that splash and dash now. I'm not going to try and expand the gap. I'm just going to surrender it and push, because that might be my only way of doing it, because then he's got the time to do it. If he stops, he loses about 23 seconds, but again, that's into the pit, that's out of the pit, that's coming around turn one on the inside in the pit wall there. It's still an ask, especially on such a big pit lane that Daytona has, so it's going to be a tight one. Again, keep all eyes on Ryan, because just what are we going to expect? And where did Ryan go? Ryan. Oh dear. Ryan just makes me jump for a moment.
Did he have a moment?
No, he lost connection to the server for a moment.
Oh. I'm scanning the rest of the field here just to see what we should be looking at. There's not a bunch of Kenneth Tier is right on Heiko Kruger. So Kenneth Tier was way at the back of LMP2. He is now on the diffuser of Heiko Kruger, who I think, did Heiko Kruger just pass Kenneth Tier, or did that?
I'm not sure. I mean,
because Heiko did fall back.
Not entirely sure. I think Heiko when he came out after running out of fuel, he was able to came out just in front of Kenneth. A bit of a twitch there from Kenneth through the second horseshoe, getting held up with his bookmarking there at selection right in the middle. So I think it was just a case of just Heiko got lucky there, but you can see the pace as well, and also the traffic just working out for Kruger is able to extend that lead to about a second and a half of it there. So that's what he wants, that's what he needs. The question is, can he continue?
It doesn't look like there's much going on in GTE right now. We kind of ran out of drama fuel with Mike Daunt going into the wall. Donald Sklenka hasn't been able to catch Mike Daunt. Last time we checked, he was 9.5 seconds behind. Now he's 10.1. Flavio still hasn't done his pit yet. He's 20 laps into a stint. Michael Thompson, he's a little bit slower than Mike and Donald right now. I can't see him making any moves. David Wilson, the last lap he did was a 43.5. He's 5 laps into his stint along with Michael. Stu Elder doing 42.6 on the last lap. He's 2 laps into his, 6 laps into his third stint now after his second pit stop. Thorsten Oliver Zimmermann, he's doing 42.7. Mark Day, 43.8 after his brush with the wall in the bus stop. And it looks like he's still pretty dented up, Mark Day. Oh, and he's off on the grass. Mark Day is off on the grass after 1. He saved it. Whew. That was a close one for the no-emission motorsport Ferrari.
He's not a good day, has Mark Day. I did not mean to make that a pun. Frankly, he's still not got any steering damage. Continuing to drive the best of his ability with that Ferrari. It's just not been his race. Still getting a PA out of this is still, nothing to go home and spill the milk over.
But a good recovery drive, if anything.
Also, like you said, there's 1 retirement out of 34 cars. That's insane. That's insane in a race like this. And of course, a lot of it you could say is, well, everyone's just using this as well to help them build for Daytona 24 hours next week on iRacing. But at the end of the day, it is that case of, well, that's just, if we can get the positions, we can get the positions, and points mean prizes at the end of the day. They can just keep racing. So a lot of these guys as well, they want to keep going because I think 75%, if you do not race 75% of the laps that the leader takes, you don't get points.
No points. I just wanted to focus on one driver here really quick, and that's Brad Walsh. Brad Walsh has had a rough day, but I want to focus on him for a second because after 2 really bad situations that Brad had to deal with, Brad is showing grit. He's still on track. He's not doing the quickest times right now, but he knows that if he stays on track, he can get those points. There was a split for Sportsmen. So there is another Sportsman race going on right now that isn't being broadcast. And he knows that as long as he keeps going, he's going to get at least points for 10th. And if somebody else drops out, maybe if Sam Wadley drops out, maybe he can pick up points for 9th. But he's showing true grit today. I wanted to say that. Good on that after all the challenges that he went through.
And not to mention as well, you want to finish this because at the end of the day, the Ironman trophy for the Majors Series is something to be really proud of getting. Just being able to complete as many of the, not many, all of the races in the series in the year. So that's always good. And just have that feather under your cap, just full stop, is a sign of a good driver. So
absolutely. Donald Sklenka is getting back into Mike Daunt. He's still 1.5 seconds back, unless Mike has another issue. I think.
What?
Yes, exactly.
Don't fix it.
Exactly. Mike is coming out of turn 6 right now. Donald is just doing the same right now. He's right behind Theodore in the GT3 car. I can't see anything shuffling there. Flavio, we'll see where he comes back out. Oh, Hefio just had a moment where his car disappeared. But he's 23 laps into his stint right now. He's going to have to get one more time, which might put him back into maybe sixth on Stu Elder. We'll see how that how the cookie crumbles there. Michael Thompson has just had a really solid drive. He's currently in fourth, right ahead of David Wilson in second.
Don't fight me for
Eric Fick is 4.2 seconds right now, and that's the closest gap in LMP2. I can't see
let you straight
that
through, Eric.
changing
Not sure what
unless
you're
Eric,
about.
runs into issues again.
I said Ferrari, not you, man. You did. Thank you. I appreciate what you did.
Let's go back to GT3. David,
Hey, I got a right to be on the track
Theodore
too,
is
guys.
really the closest gap, Ryan and Theodore. There's a 6.5 second gap between those two, and we all know that, we believe that Ryan cannot make it to the end of the race.
Look at the time. So I was looking at this. Look at the times. It was the 1.4.
Sklenka just went off the track a little bit. Sklenka, he's back on track now, but he went wide in International Horseshoe.
Bit of a lock up there, and this actually might help Theodore because Slenka will get by. Theodore will go, I'd like some slipstream, because I could really use it, because it feels to me that Ryan is fuel saving.
Theodore's in front of Sklenka. Sklenka's coming back.
And this is a good idea here for Theodore. Let Slenka get in front, use that slipstream, because if he uses it when he comes out the bus stop, okay, the gap's half a second, but Slenka's only going to be, only going to gain a second down the straight. So all the slipstream he can gain just to help him will just help Theodore right now.
Oh no! We've had an issue. Ryan
What?
Boomsma. He's in the
No
wall.
way. No way.
The curse has come to town. He's lost second place.
Oh, he's got damage on the front of that as well.
Ryan Boomsma. Oh man.
And where was this? You'll see on the replay right now. Is this the bus stop he's coming up to?
No, I think he lost it beforehand because he's definitely carrying.
Is it turn one? Yes, he looped it coming out of turn one and hit the inside wall. Not super hard, but enough on the driver's corner. Oh, Brian.
And you can see him trying to wheel that car. If you see in the replay, he's in the pits. He's got no choice. Oh, that's gonna affect him big time.
Oh, Brian.
We're
all rooting for him.
Oh, after everything. What mistake he's got to take that slow.
No! Oh!
What happened?
That was Rob just reacting to the replay.
Slid out. Slid out.
And he's now 12 seconds behind Etienne. He's 12 seconds. There's no way with 12 minutes to go you can make that time up.
No.
That is such a shame.
No way.
Oh, that's a shame for Boomsma after such a recovery drive.
But for every loser, there's a winner. That does put Eric Feek back up into second, right behind his teammate of Sean Brown.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something right now. That means Elvis is back in the building. Elvis
is definitely back in the building. He is
back in the P3.
He is in P3.
Sorry about that, 88. I didn't know what those two had in mind.
You could say that he was way down in P6 at the start of the race, and he's got his blue suede shoes on, and he's back into P3. And
There we
running
go.
out.
Sklenka is now 15 seconds off of Gaunt.
Yeah, those tires didn't work. Those tires did not work for him at all.
They did not.
And it's interesting because the tire battle worked out for these GT3s, But when it came to the GTEs, Wilson's not gained at all by taking that tyre stop early. In fact, where is he compared to Slanker? He is a minute behind Slanker. So, yeah, the tyres for the GTEs did not pay off. For the GT3s, though, I think you've got to say that, that they have helped. And Oliver tried to make it work. Embry definitely made it work. No doubt about it. So, one to be interested. That is something interesting to see. But again, the gap between Oliver and Theodore is 5 seconds. Oliver has to be fuel saving at the stage 10 minutes ago.
He has to be, just to see if he can eat that BMW across the line without having to do a pit. Flavio will be coming up on his pit window in the next 6 laps or so. He's at lap 26. There are 2 other drivers that may or may not have to pit again. Thorsten Oliver Zimmermann and Mark Day have 23 and 24 laps apiece on their stint. Ryan Oliver, he's at 27 laps in GT3. That adrenaline motorsports machine, I hope he's dialing it back to see if he can hold on to that second place.
No, why would you go?
He is, because look at the...
Oh my god, what a save! That is the 3rd time I've seen Ryan get super loose coming out of the king. Just goes so wide. He lets a car through on the inside, but just can't hold it.
Everyone had that. Everybody. Wow. That was a moment.
That's the save of the race right there. Well done, Ryan.
So, I think...
Wow. Code Brown.
Wow. Code Brown. I mean, I hope he's wearing the brown pants. That's all I'm saying.
It's all good. Thank you for
What a
Speaking
save. Keeps it going.
Speaking of Brown, what a segue. Sean Brown, 20. He's now 40. Oh, we just had an off. Mason Marzov. We haven't followed Mason all that much tonight. He just went off in the first horseshoe. Mason is down in 8th in GT3. He caught the corner of my eye when we were looking at Sean Brown. Mason not having the best luck tonight.
Oh, and he just had another
brothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's just walking into the entry of the pits. Not the pit, sorry, the entry of the oval. To the wall, but he's okay. No serious damage on that. Save that? No, he doesn't. It looked like he had a bit of issue, but no, it looks like he's okay.
Zimmermann is around again, and oh dear, he's not having the best of days. He is.
Okay, guys, what you're seeing right now is old tires and white fuel, and humidity is 79%. These cars are not making tons of power, but they don't have a ton of grip right now, and they don't have the weight of that fuel pushing them into the ground. So we might see some more pirouettes here before the end of the race.
Something's happened to Eric Beck, because the gap was 9 seconds, and the gap is now 6 seconds between Elvis and Eric. Now what is going on here?
Did Eric get around?
Did Eric get around, or has Eric been held up? That is the question. And I think it might be the latter, not the former. It is indeed the latter, not the former. Looks like Eric's had a bad time. Let's see, it's 136.3 for Beck as he comes around the corner. It's a 34.5. It's Elvis's fastest lap. Wow. And he is trying to pull, just to say, he is he's doing this while he's trying to pull away from Michael Ettinen. 5 minutes ago. This is sprint mode right now. Absolute
These cars are getting light. These cars are getting very light with low fuel. The air is cool. So they are running a bit quicker, but again, that relative humidity is going to come into play. This place is still a skating rink. You will see lots of twitching, especially out of the LMP2s. I'm just watching the 277 right now of Elvis. He's right behind 26 and Jack Weddle as they try to get by Theodore, actually. But keep an eye on these LMP2s. They do twitch coming out of the corner. There's just not a lot of grip out there.
One Elvis, that's not the move. Just hold it back against Ryan. Ryan, by the way, the gap between Oliver and Cabronis is now 2 seconds. Oliver is definitely in fuel saving mode, and I wonder if it's helped. I wonder if it's paying off for him right now, because he is trying to save that P3 at worst. P2 might be a tough cookie to swallow there, because they're starting lap 79 of their 82 laps. Oh boy, that's gonna be tough. Oh no, there's a spinner! Is that what?
Mark
Big
Day.
deal! There is chaos down there. Mark Day goes around. He goes around on his own. He hits the wall the inside. Did anybody else go around after that as well? It looks like Carl's had to take a base reaction. Zimmermann went around. And wow. We have had the big one once again in turn 1 of Daytona. Day doing the safe thing in turn. Day did the safe thing.
Lord,
Wow, Mark Day
God have
really
mercy.
hit that one. Well, in the Porsche
That was Zimmermann.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Zimmermann. And because of that evasive maneuver, Theodore's on the back of Ryan. And it would not surprise me if they're coming into NASCAR. No, I was going to say if they're coming into NASCAR 1 and 2, if Theodore can make the move, but the GTE of Flavio right there. Flavio's still not pitted, excuse me?
Flavio is on lap 30. He should probably be coming in the next 2-3 laps.
Oh, is that a slowdown for Theodore? No, it's an off track. Sorry. I thought that was a slowdown there for Theodore. No, it is an off track. He continues to push Ryan, and I think with the speed difference we're seeing right now between Theodore and Ryan, it's clear that Ryan is fuel saving. Theodore is just going to come side by side, BMW on BMW. Is Ryan pitting? Yeah, he realised it. So, oh no!
He's not going to make it.
He's done it too late. This is what I mean. I think that the best thing for him to have done was to do this early in the fuel stint, because where's Rossman? Where is Rossman right now? He's just come out the bus stop. That's going to be tight. It's 30 seconds the gap. It's going to be a close one. 2 minutes remaining. In fact, I think Sean's about to cross the line for the penultimate lap of the race.
Thank you.
Where's
This,
31 laps and counting.
he might make it. If there's only 2 minutes left, he might make it.
By the way, Ryan is out and he is 8 seconds ahead of Stefan Rossmann. So it looks like he's just managed to make it. But yeah, he was 2 laps short. So we were right in our predictions. And that's unfortunate for Ryan. He could have had that battle with Theodore, but you got to ask yourself, maybe he should have waited. Maybe he should have taken that early pit stop. But that looks to be the end of the GT3 battles. LMP2 though's got a nice little battle brewing for P3, and Etonen is now 2.5 seconds behind Elvis Bonello, as Sean Brown is halfway through the penultimate lap. Two hours and 25 minutes, guys. 2 hours and 25 minutes, and it's, for some of these guys, it's going to come down to the final lap. Etonen on Bonello. Boomsma is just unfortunately having the race he's had. Oliver needs to make sure he does not lose any more time to Rossmann. Gaunt has got that lead. Solenka is just holding on as well. So the only battles we're looking at is that battle between Etonen and Bonello. It has been
Flavio is at lap 32 of his stint. So,
Elvis, what
that
are
car
you
is
doing?
running
What
on
do you want?
fumes in third in GTE. Can he make it? Can he fuel save enough to make it to the end of the race?
What a P3 that would be, though. What a P3 just for that fuel save. We'll wait and see. I'm still watching Essen and Vanello, and it looks like Vanello got held up entering the oval with Skenka. Just being behind there. Gap is now half a second, but Essen has to go higher around NASCAR 2. Loses a little bit of time. Comes back and gets the slipstream. But I'm pretty sure if they come here, Sean Brown is about to, he already is, he's on the white flag. This is the final lap of the race. In fact, Sean Brown he's already at the second horseshoe. He's already there at the second horseshoe while we just keep watching this battle between Elvis and Michael.
Can he get enough draft? And Elvis is coming in for fuel.
Oh, he's given up P3 on the last lap. No.
He's going to be giving up P4. He's going to be giving up P4. It's Boomsma. We'll take P4. Where's Boomsma? Boomsma's coming to the line now.
My God.
Sean Brown, though, what drama at the end of the race. But Sean Brown's had no drama. He's navigated the bus stop for the final time. There's just one car in front of him, and it's Michael Thompson. Michael Thompson will probably let him go so he doesn't have to do another lap. The first round of the European Sportsmen Championship of Majors Series goes to Sean Brown. Sean Brown wins the Daytona 2.4.
Now, where is Mike Gaunt? Mike Gaunt is on the oval after fixing that Corvette. He is on the straight. He's coming up to the bus stop. Flavio is also on his last lap. Plenka is 14.5 seconds adrift of Gaunt.
In fact, Slenka's right behind Jeff Embry in the lead GT3, so we're going to get all three classes finished. I don't know how Mike Gaunt's done this after that hit into the tires, but he's going to take the win in the GTE class. A great driver and good little recovery there for Mike Gaunt.
Yeah, unreal drive from Gaunt. You've got Splenka with Jeff Embry and Jeff on a massive drive in the Lambo.
I mean,
unreal driving today.
Embry made the tires work.
And he is lighting them up. Lighting them up. They're fresher than everybody else's. May as well put them to use.
Wow.
Down through, you don't really get too much of a
That was amazing. And Boomsma gets that P4 and then gets the P3. Tanan get that P3, by the way. So
he did come back.
Yeah. Danello gets that P. What a race start. Just fuel strategies just did not work.
They didn't. Did Elvis even come back out on track?
No, he just he lost the plot and he's gone.
He's gone. But the other cars were a lap back. So he just said, screw it.
He surrendered P3 for a P5. Wow.
He went into the pit
I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. What I'm not lost for words about, though, is Sean Brown dominating the race. 49 seconds is the gap between him and Eric Vick, who comes home in P2. Mikhail Ettinen returns into P3. And Brian Boomsma, what could have been, but whatever we say about Brian, he was last after the first corner of the race, and he comes back for a P4. Even after what could have been, that is still one amazing drive from Boomsma. He takes P4. Elvis Manello does take 5th. Jan Broom takes 6th, and Weddle takes 7th. Kruger finishes 8th. Kenneth Tier comes 9th. Dennis Hoffo in 10th. Mikkel Hagstrom in 11th, and Andy Banfield in 12th. That is your Well, your top 12, the
sorry about
LMP2,
that.
because the
Turn one, I said off.
GTEs, Rob, are next up.
In GTE class, it'll be Gaunt in first position after a very serious incident where his front end decided to not exist. Skalenka, amazing drive from him, coming into second place. How on earth did Fabian in the number 29 car make it to third? How?
Flavio. Flavio.
Flavio.
Right.
No. No, I've done it now.
Petruccio.
I've done it now.
Porsche.
I've done it now. He came third. How?
He did. He calculated it exactly the way he needed to calculate it. That was a well planned out final stint for
I'd
Flavio.
like to thank the GTE and LMP that decided
lost.
to pass me, actually split me going into turn one.
I can take over. Michael Thompson
Awesome.
in fourth. David Wilson, who had his ups and downs, took tires early on. Didn't really pay off for him in fifth. Stu Elder in sixth. And Thorsten Oliver Zimmermann in seventh with that Porsche.
Good job,
Had a few ups and downs as well. Looped it there toward the end. Drew Lalonde in eighth, way back. Same with Corbin Solomson. Salmonston, sorry. Simon Thorns, who was way back for most of the race since the beginning. And Mark Day, unfortunately, hit that inside wall on turn one, and he placed in 11th in class. So, Craig.
Those GT3s, though. Jeff Embry, what a drive, we mentioned it. Taking the early
story.
pit.
Unreal.
Takes the early pit stop, makes it. Theodore takes that P2. Ryan Oliver, what could have been. Those three gave us one hell of a show. Then Stefan Rossmann, of course, in fourth. JD Crow with a couple laps down, as was Anderson and Aspie. Marzov was 11 laps down overall. Dan Watley finished as well. But Brad Walsh was the only. Brad Walsh wasn't the only retirement. He finished 31 laps. 31 laps down to the lead LMP2. Scott Kukas was the only retiree out of a 34-car field.
Unreal. To finish at the Daytona 2.4 with this many cars at the end is, I think this is it might be a best for Euro Sportsmen. Well done by all the competitors. Do we have some
We have
people
Brown.
joining
We have
us?
Brown.
We have Sean Brown, the overall winner of the race. Sean Brown driving that LMP2 off its socks. Congratulations for the victory, Sean.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. This was my first win in the Major Series.
Well, congratulations as well, because, I mean, it was a little bit... You made up 2 spots. Well, technically 1 spot because of the spin with Brian at the start of the race, but to keep so much consistency, especially with your teammate there behind Eric as well, just pushing you early on. Did tires ever come into the question?
No,